Hi, Samuel.
Hi, Jane.
I'm Jane. And this is Jezebel.
Yes. We just sold your home about 2 months ago. Why did you decide to sell, and how did you know it was the right time for you?
I decided to sell because I'm retiring at the end of this year, and because interest rates were starting to fluctuate, I thought maybe I'd best do that right away and attempt to rent it back so that I wouldn't have to move more than once.
Yeah. And so you wanted to time the market to maximize on the sales price of your home.
Correct.
Right? So you were doing your homework. Right?
Well, I hope I did it right. Well,
Yeah.
I know I did it right.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. You did a great job. Was there anything you were nervous or concerned about during the process?
Finding the right realtor, first off, and of course questioning every move I made in terms of, am I doing this at the right time? Am I jumping the gun? Am I shooting myself in the foot? But I don't think I did.
And how did you decide on the realtor that you used?
Well,
My nail person knows everyone, and I asked her to suggest. She had a couple in mind, and that one of them had moved to Texas. And the other name she gave me was Samuel Park, as you know. And so we met. I was going to call a couple of others. But after we met, I didn't feel I needed to. So I never called anybody else.
Oh, so you was the only I was the
You
only
were
person
it.
you interviewed.
You
Oh,
were it.
I love that. When was the moment you said, "Oh, he's the agent for me"?
When you listened to everything I had to say, and you said, we can do that. Because I'm not sure that a 9-month rent back would have been, something that other agents would have said, yeah, we can do that.
I love that. Is there anything that stood out to you during the process of selling your home?
Yeah, I didn't have to do anything. This was my 4th that I sold, and it was a much easier, smoother process than I'd ever gone through before. There was always a lot more back and forth, a lot more, seems to me, running around, getting, notaries and all that kind of stuff, and none of that was necessary.
So you're saying our team was very.
your team kicks.
Yeah, they were all very professional, but also very friendly, and even with these cameras on, I'm not feeling real uncomfortable. So, and then that's because of Esther.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Was there any moment during the process where you did feel uncomfortable, or felt like it was a little overwhelming, or?
Well, yes, the day of the inspection, because the previous home inspections that I'd had on my other homes, the agent was there. I leapt to the assumption that you would be there, and when you weren't, I panicked. So then the frantic phone call, and you and Esther raced over here and took care of it.
Yeah, we didn't even know there was going to be was it 8 other people?
That's ridiculous how many people were here.
So that's good. I mean, because we want people to know the ups and downs, and I know Jane, you probably are going to tell it how it is, whether I'm here or I'm not.
You think?
Here. So I love that. So that was a stressful moment for you. What was the best part of selling the experience?
Well, the best part was being able to get the rent back and the $100K over asking.
That was nice. Right. What else? Is there any advice you'd give to someone who's thinking about potentially selling their home?
Yeah, call Park Group, because that was for me. I know that's why it was such an easy process.
I love that. Thank you so much. there anything that you want to share about your experience?
I guess I think I've mentioned all the things that for me were, I mean, just making it less stressful, because let's face it, buying and selling a house is, you know, extremely stressful. And when you have also a stressful job, that just compounds everything. So the stress-free atmosphere that your team puts together for people is worth its weight in gold,
Oh, thank you. So,
or their weight in gold, because the
Yeah.
atmosphere doesn't weigh much.
so if you had to hire my team and I again, you would.
You'd have to move to Tennessee, though.
We just might. I might have to get licensed out there. Perfect.